Democrats suddenly in love with the guy they torched Teslas over, called a Nazi and recently accused of genocide. Elon Musk taking issue with President Trump's big, beautiful bill, calling it a disgusting abomination, which he fears is bankrupting America. The Democrats wasting no time pouncing on Musk's comments.
Breaking news, Elon Musk and I agree with each other. Every single Republican who voted for the one big, ugly bill should be ashamed of themselves.
Say something I didn't think was imaginable. I agree with Elon Musk.
Now that the national divorce is happening with Elon Musk, and I'm a child of divorce, okay? I mean, who's going to get big balls? I'm worried about him in the divorce. The children always get caught in the middle, right? And so I just, if he's out there, I just want him to know we're rooting for him.
And the liberal media exploding in delight over the big, beautiful beef.
Breaking up is hard to do. And that is exactly what is going on here.
This is what it's like outside the tent, with Elon Musk outside the tent, which is not a good place for the Trump administration to be because he has a huge platform.
If you attack Donald Trump and Donald Trump says nothing, Donald Trump's silence is the biggest expression of fear that he has.
Trump versus Elon, what an unexpected, I'm not sure who to root for. It's like Diddy versus R. Kelly.
All right, Dennis, the Democrats are delighting in this.
Yes, it's a strange new respect, although it is very disingenuous of them to say they agree with Elon Musk. They agree that they don't like the big, beautiful bill, but for very different reasons. The Democrats want to spend a lot more. Elon Musk is saying we really need to cut more. And he's not wrong. And I think that if we were in a perfect world, there would be a lot of different cuts. But one of the most important things that this bill does is for someone who's going to be a trillionaire, they might not care about the tax cuts in this bill. But if you're a middle-class taxpayer, you care a lot. And so the bill needs to get done. Right now, I just feel like I just step back. I don't deal with all of the details in it every day and get into the nitty-gritty of it because I believe this. The bill is going to get done at the end of the day. Neither side is going to really like it that much, but it'll get done. We'll fund the government. Nothing much will change, and then we will go on to whatever is next.
Greg, they're telling me in my ear that Musk just took his Tesla back from Trump.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. For a normal thinking person, you can hold two thoughts in your head. The bill isn't where the cuts should be, but it's what needs to be done now. It's not that hard. And actually, it's wonderful that they're that transparent. This argument is not happening behind closed doors. No one is lying to you about Trump's mental state. Nobody's telling you, oh, they're going on picnics together. You can see it. There's no conspiracy, no corruption. When Republicans, in Trump's administration, when something's going down, you see it. This is a reconciliation, not an appropriations bill. There's no mechanism for reductions for like 99% of what the government does. But that's going to come later. But we don't have time to explain that. And I get why Musk is mad, because Musk, he wants to put a rocket in space. He's going to do it. Right. So he's just impatient. But it's important that he's impatient. We need to have that. In the A block, we talked about immigration. In the B block, we're talking about budget. The next block, crime. Suddenly, how adult did this country become? The A block, immigration. B, budget. C, crime. No gender, no race, no book bans, no Pride Month. And why? Because Trump and Musk, through their deeds, deliberately focused attention on the issues that actually matter. And so, the Dems always say we need to have a conversation. Well, we're actually having the conversation, and it's right out there in front of you. You should be really happy. I think it sucks to be a Democrat because your life is wholly negative. If you wake up rooting for failure and it happens, we as a country fail. If you wake up rooting for failure and we don't fail, then you're dejected. So your satisfaction is rooted in failure, and your dissatisfaction is rooted in success. That means if you align to their thinking, you're going to lose either way.
Ooh, would you care to respond to that?
Not a ton, but I know that I have to some degree. I mean, I'm a pretty happy Democrat.
You are, but that's because you're around us.
That's right.
Oh, it's my conservative lift that I get every day
Yes,
from 5
it
to
is.
6 p.m.
We keep you
Glass half
real.
full.
We keep you real. You don't drift off into some far left loony bin.
I mean, sometimes. But no one is in love with Elon Musk. Like, politics is a game. And J.D. Vance didn't like Donald Trump a whole lot, right? Excited America's Hitler. Now he's the vice president. Marco Rubio has all the other jobs in the government, and he hated Donald Trump. Ted Cruz has forgiven him for saying that his wife is super ugly and saying that his dad was a murderer, right?
Yeah.
Didn't I say that about Ted Cruz? Anyway,
He was only half right.
Where it's
What you're saying
so
is Trump
for this
is forgiven.
in this particular moment, we have something in common with Elon Musk. We should definitely leverage it. That's what's important. But I do think that Republicans, including my dear colleagues here at the table, would prefer that we were talking about Elon Musk versus the brass tacks of the bill itself. So the final CBO scoring came out today.
Oh boy.
2.4 trillion. Yeah, oh boy. 2.4 trillion to the deficit, 3.7 trillion in tax cuts, 16 million all in total between Medicaid cuts and Obamacare credit tax cuts going off their health insurance. That's what matters. And Steve Bannon, a huge supporter of President Trump, feels the same as Elon Musk does about it. He says you're going to have to raise taxes. And the Republicans have a new talking point. Mike Johnson was doing this on the Sunday shows. Lutnick's tried it, Besant's tried, where they say, oh, the CBO, it's a Democratic organization. It's run by a Bush appointee who's only ever donated once to a candidate, and it was a Republican in 2014. But the CBO was fine in 2018 and 2019 when their projections were 99.5% accurate, grading Trump's bill. But because it's
But Jessica, let's just be honest. I worked on Capitol Hill starting in 1996. You can do the math. Okay. Ever since then, anybody who is president and doesn't have they hate the CBO. And Biden, they hated the CBO
but
then.
The point is that it's accurate, and they're saying that it's a lie.
I actually don't think that it's correct to say that it's accurate. I think that it is complicated and complex and difficult, and you can argue it in all these different ways. You can get different people to use different numbers. But the Biden people hated CBO, and now the Trump people hate CBO. It's like it always happens. But it's been going on
we
since...
can all agree that this is going to add to the deficit,
No,
and that we don't need to
reappoint.
Nope. CBO even doesn't agree with that.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
2.4 trillion.
They said that
and do you
nearly
need 3.7 trillion
it would
in
save
tax cuts?
1.7 trillion in mandatory spending. Maybe it's because you didn't factor in the tax cuts, but I don't know.
When you add in the revenue also from the tariffs, the deficit is no longer an
The
issue.
tariffs that are
And
going to
the
spike
CBO,
inflation.
actually, when it comes to what they've been scoring, you could say is not accurate, and many would say is garbage in terms of the numbers they came up with. But let's get back to Elon Musk. When Elon Musk decided he wanted to get involved in politics, Democrats loved it because they had run everything they could against Donald Trump. Nothing had worked. They figured, now, great, we have this boogeyman, and they could not stop talking about doge, showing up in front of federal government agencies, defending things like USAID, and so on and so forth. Now, all of a sudden, they have a disagreement in a transparent way, and you have Chuck Schumer just hours after essentially saying he's the worst person on the planet, saying that he agrees with him. Now, you can't go from calling someone a Nazi to then saying, we agree with them, unless you're a Democrat. Because if you're a Republican, they would say that you're endorsing white supremacy and on and on and on.
What about J.D. Vance and Trump?
So the point is that Elon Musk has this disagreement. We will see what the Senate comes up with. The Senate or the White House rather, has sent up this rescissions package from the Office of Budget and Management to codify a lot of these doge cuts. Whether the Congress will do that is a whole other question. But the doge cuts that the Democrats protested, including in violent ways at Tesla dealerships, are getting sent up to the Hill for debate in a separate piece of legislation. So Democrats have a problem with authenticity. Here's just another example. 1 second they hate Elon Musk, and another when they can use him for political purpose, they're happy to do so.
That was a great special report, all-star panel.
Yeah.
Yes, well done, everybody.
Good. Right, him. Where am I?
Up next,
I'm not there.
Eric Swalwell claims he secretly gossips with Republican men. Hey, Britt, at the gym. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.